Hanahab Napi, Membi Watuhushka Opimi. And I'd like to welcome everyone back to Uncovering Your Roots with the Autonomous Party, Genealogy 101, and I'm your host, Opie Miha. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump back into as you can see on the screen, the Free Negro Heads of Families in the United States in 1830. So again, this is a book put together by Carter G. Woodson, as you can see here on the screen. So what I wanted to do this time around, we're going to do a couple different things. So just sit back and relax, and hope you enjoy the information. So I wanted to show you guys, first of all, the name of the book that we're covering, and we went over this in the last video. So a couple other things I wanted to point out here as we go through this. Give me just a second here. I'm trying to find one of these other pages I wanted to click to. I believe this might be it right here. Okay. So in this book, Carter G. Woodson kind of goes over the distribution of the free Negro population in 1830. Okay, so I'm going to try to line this up so we can see both sides. We may have to go from one side to the other. So I just wanted to run through this portion of it real quick. So keep in mind, again, like I was saying in the last video, not every single family is recorded in this. As we know, with a lot of census taking, they're not really hitting every single person in every single state, in every county, every city, every town. So not all of the people are recorded here. All right, so in Maine, they had 1,190 people recorded in 1830. The free Negro population, as it states. New Hampshire, 604 people. Massachusetts, there was 7,048 people. Rhode Island, we had 3,561. Connecticut, which is the state we're going to be covering today, had 8,047. Vermont had 881. And you guys are going to see some of these numbers are going to be pretty high. Vermont had 881. New York had 44,870. New Jersey had 18,303. Pennsylvania had 37,930. Delaware had 15,855. Maryland had 52,938. Virginia had 47,348. North Carolina had 19,543. South Carolina had 7,921. Let's move over to the next column here. So Georgia had 2,486. Alabama had 1,572. Mississippi had 519. Louisiana had 16,710. Tennessee had 4,555. Kentucky had 4,917. Ohio had 9,568. Indiana had 3,628. Illinois had 1,637. Missouri had 569. Michigan had 261. Arkansas 141. Florida 844. And the District of Columbia had 6,152. So I just wanted to point out and let you guys see in 1830, These are the states that, Carter G. Woodson did his research on to see the free Negro population in each one of these states. As you can see, there's some states that have, there's a big number there. I know New York was one, Maryland was one. We also had Virginia as, a pretty big population. So I just wanted you guys to see that. Okay. So let's move on to the state of Connecticut, and we're going to get into the names. Well, I might cover this other thing again for anyone that's new that didn't catch the first video. So let me just scroll to that real quick, and we'll go ahead and jump into this. I believe it is this portion here. So this is the explanation of the table. So I'm going to back this off just a little bit so we can see it. Okay. Line it up here. So just real quick again, the explanation of the table. So this is what we're going to be reading through. It says these were not all the free Negro families in this country in 1830. Okay, so I stated that a few minutes ago. But all of those officially reported as living apart from the whites. Many free Negroes lived in the homes of their employers, as did indentured servants or slaves. Some few of these are herein confusingly reported, but such information was not generally given. All right, so it says these records were copied just as those who took the census returned their findings. The only change made in the case of the free Negro heads of family was to write the Christian name first, a rule which these enumerators did not all follow. So normally on the census record, you're usually seeing the last name first and then the first name. So, sometimes if the handwriting is terrible, it gets confusing on what it is you're reading. Okay. So it says some enumerators made no distinction as to the race in recording the names, but merely indicated the status of the head of the family under free color or free persons of color. So when you're starting to get into, when you're into the 1790 census or into the early 1800s, probably up to, almost all the way through the 1800s, you're seeing just, these free persons of color. It'll show the head of the family, and then they'll write a number of how many people are actually in the family. So it says other enumerators wrote Negro, letter C, CO, COLD, or colored, or used FN for free Negro, F of C for free person of color, FMC for free man of color, FWC for free woman of color, or FB and FBK for free black directly after the name. All right, so it says other such records of distinction are self-explanatory. The question mark after a name or a figure or in a column indicate that the record is such that the fact could not be accurately determined. So you will see that to where there's like just a first name and a question mark, or last name and just a question mark. So the column giving the age does not every time show the age of the head of family. In some instances, the age of the head of the family could be exactly figured out. The age here given is that of the oldest person in the family of the sex indicated as the head of the family. In 80% of the cases which the investigator has tested, however, it can be shown that it is the actual age of the head of the family. All right. Says the record as to sex, moreover, is often confusing. The name of a male is sometimes given as the head of the family, while the sex is indicated as female or vice versa. All right, so 10 to 24 means 10 years of age under 24. 24 to 36 means 24 years of age under 36. 36 to 55 means 36 years of age and under 55. 55 to 100 means 55 years of age and under 100. And 100, etc., means 100 or more than 100 years of age. Then it goes on to say total means the number of the persons in a family together with all of the slaves. The slaves owned by these families have been accounted for in the editor's Free Negro Owners of Slaves in the United States in 1830. Also another book that Carter G. Woodson has that you should check out as well. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the state of Connecticut. And the other thing I wanted to do, so over here on this side, I have a family search link pulled up. So we can do this fast. I'll try to pull up the actual record here of the person we're looking at. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into Connecticut. And I'm gonna blow this back up again here because I want you guys to be able to see these names. See here, line this up a little bit. All right, so the first county that we're going to hit is Fairfield County. We're going to be in Monroe, Fairfield County. So if you're from Connecticut or you're from the East Coast, you may know these areas, or you may have family from these areas. Okay. So the first person we're going to pull up is, or cover, is going to be Peter Pitts. You can see the age. He was a male, and he had 8 people in his family. So let's see if we can pull him up real quick. So let's look at Peter, and we'll go Pitts, P-I-T-T-S. And then we're just going to put in C-O-N-N, Connecticut, and let's search. All right, so what should happen is over here on the right-hand side, you'll get this area here, which is what we're going to use for all the people we're looking for. So it looks like we are seeing or pulling up a Peter Pitts for Connecticut. We click on them real quick. Let's see what we get here. All right, so they do have a record there off to the side. Again, if you want to dig deeper into this gentleman, jump on familysearch.org, which is a free site, and do so. All right, so let's go back. So our next person is going to be Ransler Pius. You see the age. He's got 5 people in the family, so let's pull him up. So we're going to pull up Ransler. And we got Pius, P-I-A-S. All right, so I'm just gonna, so his name is kind of unusual. I didn't put in the state because it should pull up pretty much where he was at. Now, the one thing I did want to point out is that this is how his name is actually spelled, and they spelled it this way. And how I know that is because if we continue on this list, the other people that he's related to, so we got an Absalom Pease and a Levy Pease. So these are probably relations to him. All right, so I just wanted to point that out. And that's why Family Search corrects it to the, the correct name. Okay. So I'm not going to dive into any of the people's records here. I just want you to see that they do show up. All right, so our next person is going to be Ira Wells. So let's see if we can find her. Ira, the last name Wells. Let's search.
Super Blaze. Yeah, you listening to Super Blaze, let's go. Yeah, you listening to Super Blaze, let's go.
DJ Super Blaze is in the mix.
Feeling like I'm sorry.
I
I don't need no driver license. No, I don't need just a beauty like a license. That the ride or die is still the show. You know they try to. Feeling like I'm sorry. I don't need no driver license. No, I don't need just a beauty like a license. That the ride
Check.
still the show. You know
Peace to the chat. What up? Shout out to everybody locked in right now. You know what it is, man.
Now I'm wealthy and scholarly. Walk on the sea like I'm JC. Now I'm doing bigger, better.
Super Blaze tapping in real quick with the campaign mix, man. You know what it is.
Meditation clears the mind. Keep it so clear.
Just keep it locked down. We got the Negro questions.
Your weapon now.
Author in the building tonight. Once again. Mr. Lee Cummings pulling up tonight. You know what it is. Just keep it locked right here, man. It's the Autonomous Party Podcast and Mix Show.
They pull up, yeah, they click clack, they do dirt. They go home, then they'll get back. But they came by.
That's our boy Black Jack in the background.
With some nice property.
Talking about some. One time for Big Creek Money, what up? Fontaine, Raw Trucking, what up? More than Bree, I Miss Bree. Shout to you.
Feeling like I'm sorry. I don't need no driver license. No, I don't need just a beauty like a license. That the ride or die is still the show. You know they try to drown me in Admiralty, but I'm alive.
Yo, how we sounding out there? We sounding good?
Now I'm wealthy.
We sound like quality?
Walk on the sea like I'm JC.
Good quality?
Now I'm doing bigger, better. I'm changing atmospheres, levitate. The meditation clears the mind. Keep it so clear. Don't you let them use you. Keep your weapon near. Celebration is the only way out here. You gotta be tired of dying and burying people out here. I know this sucker. They pull up, yeah, they click clack, they do dirt. They go home, then they'll get back. But they can't bother me, nah. Cause I'm not property. This is essential. Essential. Yeah. This is the mission. To be free and clear. Living off the land like a trillionaire. This the mission. I ain't gotta care. Living on my dream and killing all the nightmares, yeah. Yeah, you listening to Super Blaze, let's go.
Bang, bang, bang.
Every day I wake, I make my mind.
Twin spin.
I'ma be
Black Jagger, you know what it is. Let's go.
every day I wake, I
Shout out to all my melanated beans out there. You know what it is.
gotta keep my mind on the because they only tell a nice side of the story. Out here telling lies like they on Maury. Them poor rich kids get their money on phone. But there ain't no forex. We growing up, yeah, we got the good. Good of them assets, good of my bad. Get the cash before the whole market crash. A news flash, just a blast from the past. We gonna smash now. Be prepared to hit the gas. Yeah.
Build a land, get the wealth, change your name up. Get the title in your hands, switch the game up. Melanation, elevation, arise. We divide, blood eye, and we travel. Drive. Blood eye, and we travel.
Woo. That's my child. Woo.
Blood eye, and we travel. Hey, hey, hit him with the high, yeah. Sherry, no, I got from Virginia. Yeah.
I know I'm more because I'm less. I know I'm more. I passed the test.
We got to see with the true eyes. We need some brand new bright ideas. We got the hearts and some great minds, yeah. If we could all just be sincere.
Build a land, get the wealth, change your name up, get the title in your hands, switch your game up. Melanation, elevation, arise. We divide, blood eye, and we travel.
Bang, bang, bang,
Right.
bang, 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 bang,
Blood eye, and we travel.
Yeah, you listening to
Blood eye, and we travel. Build a land, get the wealth, change your name up, get the title in your hands, switch your game up. Melanation, elevation, arise. We divide, blood eye, and we travel.
That boy should be trouble. Shout out to Miss Annette Marie. What up?
Every
Much
day I
love.
wake, I make my mind up. I'ma be the one.
He said he got the
Be the one.
feather in his
Every
hand.
day I wake, I make my mind up.
That's the opinion.
Gotta keep my mind on
Shout out to
the
the tribes for real. You know what I mean?
telling nice side of the story. Out here telling lies like they on Maury. Them poor rich kids get their money off on it. But down here in the hood, yeah, we know Forex. We growing up, yeah, we got the goods. Build them assets, build them up fast. Get rid of cash before the whole market crash. A news flash, just a blast from the past. We gonna smash that. Be prepared to hit the gas, yeah.
Build a land, get the wealth, change your name up, get the title in your hands, switch your game up. Melanation, elevation, arise. We divide, blood eye, and we travel.
Try.
Blood eye, and we travel.
Just my child.
Blood eye, and we travel. Hey, hit him with the higher. Yeah, sharing no haka from Virginia. Yeah.
I know I'm more because I'm blessed. I know I'm more. I passed the test.
We
Yeah.
need to see with the true eyes. We need some brand new bright ideas. We got the hearts and some great minds, yeah. If we could all just be sincere.
Build a land, get the wealth, change your name up, get the title in your hands, switch your game up. Melanation, elevation, arise. We divide, blood eye, and we travel.
Try.
Blood eye, and we travel.
Just my child. Every day I wake, I make my mind up.
We ain't gonna give y'all a trap on screw
So we gon' die every day.
next time.
Swear we gon' die every day. They said Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if he can't. They tell us we black, but we ain't. Aboriginal, native, yeah, we gon' die every day. Cause we don't know where we came. We been here, lived here, open borders, got deported off of rights. Kidnapped, bitch slapped, blacked out, covered up, washed up, beat, left dead, fuck your life. It's all the plan, kill you, man, take you, slave your kids, rape your wife. Why y'all look so mad if all this shit I say is true? Why y'all look so mad if all this shit happened to you? White man quick to tell you, you was a slave, nothing before me. He himself only been free since 1840. Young recording, I'm an ancient Egyptian from Atlantis, headed straight for Canada, that's Israel. You know, cappy rapping, I just feel the ink and I'm digital. No K.
One time for Big OJ. What up? What up?
Fried. Extra.
Welcome,
A lot
welcome.
of gold, cause my family history. I'm the guy.
So come say I see you. What up, bro?
Die every day. They said Jesus gonna save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if he can't. They tell us we black, but we ain't. Aboriginal, native, yeah, we gon' die every day. Cause we don't know where we came. Swear we gon' die every day. They said Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if he can't. They tell us we black, but we ain't. Aboriginal, native, yeah, we gon' die every day.
Peace, peace to Miss Sherry. What up?
Power, only respect power. Respect power. What's been said can't be said no louder. Stand for something or you die a coward. They bombed our churches, set our kids on fire. Police keep erasing cause they backed up by the nation. Nation ain't complaining cause the Indians still hanging. Comanche, Sioux, Apache, ain't no history in blackness. No reason for that chatting if you bitch up when it's action. AR on my body, tell the bro to grab the shot. Loading up that new edition, finna hit him with this bobby. I can't shoot the shit, but 30 shouldn't miss. 54 races, 104 is click. Anytime in prison, they don't want the shit. They don't want the problems. Snitches get the stick.
That boy said he can't shoot for shit, but 30 should hit it though.
Swear we gon' die every day. They say Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if he can't. They tell us we black, but we ain't. Aboriginal, native, yeah, we gon' die every day. Cause we don't know where we came. We been here, lived here, open borders, got deported, fought for rights. Kidnapped, bitch slapped, blacked out, covered up, washed white. Drugged up, slugged up, beat bread, left for dead, fuck your life. It's all a plan, kill your man, take your land, slave your kids, rape your wife. Why y'all look so mad if all this shit I say is true? Why y'all look so mad if all this shit happened to you? White man quick to tell you was a slave, nothing before me. He himself only been free since 1840. Don't record it. I'm an ancient Egyptian from Atlantis, head straight for Canada, that's Israel. Nothing fake about me, no capping rapping. I just fed the ink and I'm digital. No caveman, I'm original. Kentucky Fried, extra crispy. Wear a lot of gold cause I'm family history. I'm the guy to know I bring death to history. We gon' die every day. They say Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if he can't. They tell us we black, but we ain't. Aboriginal, native, yeah, we gon' die every day. Cause we don't know where we came. Swear we gon' die every day. They say Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if he can't. They tell us we black, but we ain't. Aboriginal, native, yeah, we gon' die every day. Cause we don't know where we came. Power, only respect power. Respect power. What's been said can't be said no louder. Stand for something or you die a coward. They bombed our churches, set our kids on fire. Police keep erasing cause they backed up by the nation. Nation ain't complaining cause the Indians still hanging. Comanche, Sioux, Apache, ain't no history in blackness. No reason for that chatting if you bitch up when it's action. AR on my body, tell the bro to grab the shot. Loading up that new edition, finna hit him with this bobby. I can't shoot the shit, but 30 shouldn't miss. 54 races, 104 is click. Anytime in prison, they don't want the shit. They don't want the problems. Snitches get the stick.
Total Island, nigga.
All that hatred in the running like a bitch.
Look. Take a walk into the jungle. My youngin' serve you a bundle. Big gun with a muzzle. If you a loud nigga, it'll hush you. Come and get it how you want it. Nigga, show me my opponent. You call it gangsta when you rep your hood. I call it gangsta when you own it. Spin a block. If he come through, we gon' send a shot. Police come through, better fall back, or we'll fuck around and kill a cop. We do not. Yeah.
Shot the Job Briggs.
I know,
you know
what
it is, man.
Look. Look. Take a walk into the jungle. My youngin' serve you a bundle. Big gun with a muzzle. If you a loud nigga, it'll hush you. Come and get it how you want it.
Rest in peace to Pop Smoke too, for real.
You call it gangsta when you rep your hood.
That boy set trends and left.
Spin a block. If he come through, we gon' send a shot. Police come through, better fall back, or we'll fuck around and kill a cop. We do not care about none of that. Make them jog and do jumping jacks. Add guns and subtract ops. Nigga, tell me what's the sum of that. Some of that, some of that. Baby girl, I need some of that. But if your mind don't match your body, then hell nah, I can't fuck with that. And just because you got a fat ass don't mean the shit tight in front of that. Break the trees down, roll the wood, while I'm feeling like a lumberjack. Look, refugee yelling free stretch. Talk tough, get your teeth stretched. Fuck a rook, nigga, we vex. Fuck a rook, trying to beat chess. Gorillas with me like they beat chess. Moving gay like K West. Earning stripes like K Swiss. Haters mad, no they piss. Yeah. Total Island, nigga. I know we give it up. Look. Look.
You heard me? Listen to this.
Take a walk into the jungle. My youngin' serve you a bundle. Big gun with a muzzle. If you a loud nigga, it'll hush you. Come and get it how you want it. Nigga, show me my opponent. You call it gangsta when you rep your hood. I call it gangsta when you own it.
Do it.
Spin a block. If he come through, we gon' send a shot. Police come through, better fall back, or we'll fuck around and kill a cop. We do not care about none of that. Make them jog and do jumping jacks. Add guns and subtract ops. Nigga, tell me what's the sum of that? Some of that, some of that. Baby girl, I need some of that. But if your mind don't match your body, then hell nah, I can't fuck with that. And just because you got a fat ass don't mean the shit tight in front of that. Break the trees down, roll the wood, boy, I'm feeling like a lumberjack. Look, refugee yelling free stretch. Talk tough, get your teeth stretched. Fuck a book, nigga, we vex. Fuck a book, trying to beat chess. Gorillas with me like they beat chess. Moving gay like K West.
Call my Aboriginal people, what's up?
Haters mad, no they piss. Got the girls screaming indigenous. They ain't think that we'll wake up. Pretty girl with some soft skin. You don't really need to make up. Long clips, nigga, PG. Fuck around, get a shake up. Quiet nigga, if you know me, I ain't really gotta say much. Come through, we blast and wonder what happened. Rip his tissues like a napkin. I got the Mac and nigga was trapping. If he out, we attack him. I got the grip on me, better listen. We ain't the one for the cabin. Niggas, they say that they got bands, but when they pull up, they be gassing. And if you got bands, dog, you don't own no land, dog. You niggas try and be Jay-Z. I'm more NFAC. Aboriginal bloodline. Tell the ops we gon' free the land. Smoking on this Columbus pack. Got me higher than Peter Pan. I ain't never been a follower, so it's right that I lead the fam. Rappers talk tough on records when the cops come, they like cheaters, man. Baby, welcome to the jungle. Total Island is the main force. And I ain't preaching, put the guns down. I'm just saying we can change targets. Nigga. Fuck you talking about? Nah, we give it up. BLM, we the new BLM.
Yeah, you listening to Super Blade, let's go.
Yep. Shout out to Job Brooks for real.
Wild Indian.
I'll be seeing that boy on
Hey,
on them stories, man.
Look, I'm a wild Indian, you know I
very informative.
Ain't really Indian, that boy Fugazi. I just keep it player, you can never play me. You got an ass so fat.
Hold up. Let me put some respect on that man name, man. Shout out to Dr. Job Bricks. You know what I mean? Dr. J Bricks. Shout out to you, bro. I'll be watching his stories on Instagram, man. Like, yeah, son is very informative. He be putting it out there, putting that work in, you know what I mean? So check out my boy, man, Job Bricks. Very informative, got some dope music out here. You know what I mean? So yeah, very indigenous, right? Very autonomous. I like that.
Yeah. Wow.
You know what this is, man? It's the campaign mix, the Autonomous Party podcast mix show.
I'm a wild Indian, you know I go crazy.
Like no other, you know?
Ain't really Indian, that boy Fugazi. I just keep it player, you can never play me. You got an ass so fat, girl, let's make a baby. And another one. Then I'm back to the trap, I'm trying to double some. She a bad woke chick and I love her tongue. We some jurisdiction boys, we some 101s. Look, don't compare me to no Martin dog, I'm like Malcolm X. Job about our freedom, we'll leave a crack and stretch. Round of applause, boy, you know we clapping text. Chucky dog, child play, yeah, nigga, that's what's next. Open up the cans just like Arizona. Pull up masked up like we got the Rona. We set up jurisdictions when we buy the corner. How you claiming that's your hood and you not the owner? Be the B, I just pulled up in the need for speed. Free the land, tell the colonizers that they need to leave. Wild Indian up in my veins, you know how we bleed. You ain't gotta lie about who we is, dog, just keep it G. We at war, we can't keep the peace. Since we at war, gotta keep the peace. Whack a cone, then I meditate. Should I need to breathe? Keep an Olmec head when we slide, dog, cause we the sheep.
Like my niggas said, bitch, we the shit. I can't keep the peace. If it pop off, then I want a piece. I'm just on release. I'm in go mode, motherfucker thief. In these streets like EBT, when we at war, make peace with me. I don't give a damn, understand. Fuck who stole this land, white or black or tan. Understand, it's fuck who stole this land. Might have seen me get a little bit of these hands. He wasn't no apple man. Now these dudes is sample,
Sometimes it make your mind dissolve, trying to solve something not meant for you to solve. You got to search for inner peace. Inner peace. Yeah, you listening to Super Blaze. Let's go.
DJ Super Blaze is in the mix.
You already know. Autonomous Party, man. We get it in each and every Sunday, 8 to 11. Tap in. Let's go.
Sometimes it make your mind dissolve, trying to solve something not meant for you to solve. You got to search for inner peace. Inner peace.
Go ahead and hit that like button real quick. Subscribe, share this month. You know what I'm talking about?
Trying to solve personal problems you should solve.
They say we can't cuss on YouTube no more, bro.
Peace. Inner peace. Check me out. To free my mind, I leave my house and hit the intercoastal. Sitting right in my backyard, this shit is really local. It's like my problems run away when I sit by the water. Meditating, sitting still, I become the water. Jump off the cliff of life, release my parachute of problems, everything's alright. At least that's what I tell myself until it hit the night. The spirit synchronized with my blood, I'm taking flight. My mind consumed. The devil said he moving in, but I ain't got no room. He wanna break me down and tell me up what I assume, but I just keep on grinding up to my top chakra, feeling like a Buddhist on a mountain, sitting proper, traveling God, moving through the cosmos, space and time. But all I really know, I'm at my zenith, familiar with my inner peace because I seen it. Sometimes it make your mind dissolve, trying to solve something not meant for you to solve. You got to search for inner peace. What? Inner peace. Sometimes you got too much involved, trying to solve personal problems you should solve. You got to search for inner peace. Inner peace. Bonquisha had a baby, but that baby didn't make it. Feeling like she's all alone and can't no one related. She permed her hair, put in some weave and made her nails long. Aspirations of stripping and making millions. Packed it up, left her mom, moved to South Beach, hoping she could make a living off monogamy. But things changed when she met a G. She fell in love with the dream he sold and everything she see. The big cars, Cuban links, and the real estate. Hoping he would take her to a realer place. She lost in the facade, things ain't what they seem. He left her for a girl that had some bigger dreams. She got no money, got no job, ain't nowhere to go. She ran back to her mama's house and broke down on the floor. Her mama told her, you stuck in the belly of the beast. You need to search for inner peace. Sometimes you got too much involved, trying to solve something not meant for you to solve. Everything you got to search for inner peace. Inner peace. High beams, wrist gleam coming down your block. Painting pictures with these words, call me Basquiat.
Bang, bang, bang.
That's my bro right there, little bro. Mike Ether, let it clear. You heard me? Shout out to my Ethers out there. You already know what it is. Shout out to 9 Ether too. You heard me? All my Ethers out there.
Everything is authentic.
It's your boy Mac Ether, by the way. Thriller campaign. You already know what it is.
High beams, wrist gleam coming down your block. Painting pictures with these words, call me Basquiat. Everything authentic, we don't fuck with gimmicks. You can't rush the greatness, all you could do is witness. High beams coming down your block. Painting pictures with these words, call me Basquiat. Everything authentic, we don't fuck with gimmicks. You can't rush the greatness, all you can do is witness.
Black drop back, my stacks is on greatness. High level shit off top, you can't make this. Fuck the beat off guard, now that's rapist. Top laid back, the beans, now that's weightless. Gotta excuse me, y'all, I might break this. Ain't a perfect picture, y'all boys gon' need facelifts. Fall back a few, they fiend for thy greatness. Better cut before you take this. Cashmere playing golf with my 9-9. Can't fall off, they know that I buy mine. Fuck you with an OG in the fine lines. White in the mirror on the all-time high. Shining since I came out the pussy, I blind guys. Eating with my team, you cannot define eyes. Squares out of circle, boy, I divide pies. Truth so big, cannot deny lies, huh?
High beams, wrist gleam coming down your block. Painting pictures with these words, call me Basquiat. Everything authentic, we don't fuck with gimmicks. You can't rush the greatness, all you could do is witness. High beams coming down your block. Painting pictures with these words, call me Basquiat. Everything authentic, yeah, we don't fuck with gimmicks. You can't rush the greatness, all you can do is witness. Overseas singing melodies while I'm loafing. Smoking these 5 trees, you know I'm coughing. Bitch so exotic, that pussy, you know I'm lost in. Asset, had location, you know I'm bossing. No Marriott, yacht master of my submariner. My work stays about with no man, I'm still cleaner. Talk like you got an army, but you ain't got no team. I just landed, nigga. Smell like the Gulf Stream. You don't understand this, you better read a book. Look up Rap Genius, you better read my hook. I'm on another level, my shit be hard to reach. I can change religions, but they make it hard to preach. Thought you had friends, but you learned your lesson though. Pat these niggas down before you let them through the door. The gang fucked up, I put it in the grapple. Painting pictures, nigga, Sistine Chapel. High beams, rips gleam coming down your block. Painting pictures with these words, call me Basquiat. Everything authentic, we don't fuck with gimmicks. You can't rush the greatness, all you could do is witness. High beams coming down your block. Painting pictures with these words, call me Basquiat. Everything authentic, we don't fuck with gimmicks. You can't rush the greatness, all you could do is witness.
Check the humidor, I gotta keep a few or more. I'm from the gutter, man, I took them on a sewer tour. See, when you make it to the top, that's what you do it for. Sunroof visions, can't tell you when I see the floor. Hearing screams as I open the arena doors. Higher level, what they think when they see my decor. I do it big and now they swear that they see me before. Everything is luxury, got your memory sore. I do this shit for real, the bitches love my sex appeal. I'm turning heads and tearing sheets like they were orange peels. Even my chicken boy can fill up storage with her heels. See, I killed the game alone, y'all be adorning deals. Wet bait, foreign cost, that's a boss act. Feeling like I'm hidden by the roof, so I lost that. If you're getting real money, you can toast that. Short and hard up in the building, nigga, you can float that.
High beams, wrist gleam coming down your block. Painting pictures with these words, call me Basquiat. Everything authentic, we don't fuck with gimmicks. You can't rush the greatness, all you could do is witness. You know, everything is vintage. Everything is classic. Cause ain't nothing new under the sun. That means it's been done before. But not like this though. Yeah, the guy flows giving with such precision. Flow like a Maybach, that's what keep me driven. Roof partition, scribing to the cosmo, omnipotent vision. What? Tell me what I'm really missing.
Peace. Shout out to Cho. What up, bro?
Dimension. P now too wide open to see religion. Resonating way too loud for me to listen. Is you listening? Mercush jumping out the gym like Blake Griffin. Have your mind somewhere in the ethers missing. I cook food for thought and they proceed to listen. Cause my flow's nourishment and my words are living. See my tongue work stronger than that gun you gripping. Cause a big bang like the birth of earth was given. I get missing through the instruments and melody. I don't make music, I compose sound therapy. I think I'm Nick Tesla or Bob Marley. Master of ceremony, nigga, I'm God body. Cracking up a bottle open and I'm calling Baron. Osiris Green, Mozart beads, got them knocks staring. I think I'm Jeff Fort. Noah Drew, painting pictures with these words, man, it's what I do. Shouts out the Thriller campaign, nigga, what it do? Keeping everything kosher, no Jew. How I ride on the day that Noah would die. I'm a rule back, we supposed to ride. How I ride on the day that Malcolm died. By any means, I'm living my life. Hey, since an adolescent, been getting it right. Cause the people who were pressing they caring for life. Had to make my own way from nickel and dime. Till a nigga graduated and got me a pine. Where I'm from, man, them boys ain't playing around. Hopping out ski masks, they laying it down. Just because you match your description. Even though we all know it's fiction. All they really want to do is convict them. Forge his name or make up a victim. When it's feeling like the world is against them. It's all good, nigga, galaxies with them. It's all good, the galaxy with them. It's all good, nigga, my yacht with them. Hey. Shouts out to my ancestors. Oh, wow. No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't cross your T's and you ain't dot your I's. We got some unfinished business. Nigga.
Yeah, you listening to Super Blaze. Let's go.
DJ Super Blaze is in the mix.
No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't cross your T's and you ain't dot your I's. We got some unfinished business. Nigga. No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't cross your T's and you ain't dot your I's. We got some unfinished business. Nigga. Now come and take a look through my perspective. School of hard knocks and struggling was my elective. Shit was reckless, so I had to always cock the heckler. Put under pressure, so that's why the shells would get projected. My mind protected, I stay focused, boy, if you ain't noticed. When it come to my thoughts, I'm an S63, you just a Lotus. Your brain small and compacted, that's why you contracted to a big-ass record label where the pay's lacking. But you ain't know that, too late to go back. I'm at the end of Roy G. Biv, where to go at? I paint the picture, you can keep the Kodak. My chariot awaits, I think it's time for me to go back to the realm, build it with supreme beings. Trying to build my mind to see what the Almighty seeing. Dark should come to light, so ain't no way that you can play us. I'm turning in my black fez for the Uranus. Nigga, no wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't cross your T's and you ain't dot your I's. We got some unfinished business. No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't cross your T's and you ain't dot your I's. We got some unfinished business.
They try so hard to keep it blind, but thank God I can see the light. Wanna keep me in the dark, but now you can see me shining bright.
Now come and take a look through my dimension. A young God, I just came down from my ascension. Protected 12 tribes, guessing I just lost prevention. The type of things I'm seeing, guessing that I shouldn't mention. If I don't talk, then I believe in you up in the dark.
My eyes low. When you move like God, the time slow. I came back for the blacks and John Doe's. Crack open them land pads, let go of them town homes.
Yeah, you listening to Super Blaze. Let's go.
DJ Super Blaze is in the mix.
Yeah, rhyme so dope, my eyes low. When you move like God, the time slow. I came back for the blacks and John Doe's. Crack open them land patents, let go of them town homes. What's a native to a native? Eat $5 dough if he not melanated. Pale faces got you waiting on a savior. Sending prayers up, he texting back on vacation. Yeah, God's children. Give all your praise to Jesus, but how God feeling? He say put no one before him in divine image. It's you with God of Christians. I got a vision, but niggas ain't gotta listen, so they don't. We came from the soil, wasn't fucking with no boats. Bible took our spirit, English pot on our tribal fair turtle. Don't act like y'all don't know.
DJ Super Blaze.
Yeah,
in the mix.
I'm so dope, my eyes low. When you move like God, the time slow. I came back for the blacks and John Doe's. Crack open them land patents, let go of them town homes. What's a native to a native? Eat $5 dough if he not melanated. Pale faces got you waiting on a savior. Sending prayers up, he texting back on vacation. Yeah, God's children. Give all your praise to Jesus, but how God feeling? He say put no one before him in divine image. It's you with God of Christians. I got a vision, but niggas ain't gotta listen, so they don't. We came from the soil, wasn't fucking with no boats. Bible took our spirit, English potted on our homes. Tribal families turned on us, don't act like y'all don't know. But fuck them and they grudges. We was something turned to nothing. And now we nothing's turned to something. Reincarnation of ancients, fresh up out the oven. This the message to the black man. This the message to the black man. This the message to the black man. This the message to the black man.
Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, you listening to Super Blaze. Let's go.
Yeah, rhyme so dope, my eyes low. When you move like God, the time slow. I came back for the blacks and John Doe's. Crack open them land patents, let go of them town homes. What's a native to a native? Eat $5 dough if he not melanated. Pale faces got you waiting on a savior. Sending prayers up, he texting back on vacation. Yeah, God's children. Give all your praise to Jesus, but how God feeling? He say put no one before him in divine image. It's you with God of Christians. I got a vision, but niggas ain't gotta listen, so they don't. We came from the soil, wasn't fucking with no boats. Bible took our spirit, English potted on our homes. Tribal families turned on us, don't act like y'all don't know. but fuck them and they grudges. We was something turned to nothing, and now we nothing's turned to something. Reincarnation of ancients, fresh up out the oven. This the message to the black man. 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 Shooters on my roof, lawyers in the coop. We can never die, bitch, we bulletproof. This the message to the black man. This the message to the black man. You wasn't slaves, you was prisoners of war. You stop wasting your time, these other bitches ain't important. You ain't meditating, you ain't mating with the sauce. Like what the fuck's a noodle if you ain't painted with the sauce? I find it hard to trust the pastor who rather side with the master, who preaching we should submit while getting murdered and captured. About how we should wait on God is never our vernacular. They get paid and praised by the dollar long as they keeping us stagnant. And niggas think they woke, huh? Like you could change a whole world through a vote, huh? Like slave masters willing to let their slave go, huh? That slave master was probably your kinfolk, huh? History in reverse, a black king strategy. When blacks were your majesty, they always hide your pyramids but point to where the castles be. Aristocracies with your last name patent accurately. Yeah. And I ain't even tell half the shit. I ain't even tell a quarter of the shit. I'm just getting started. Y'all niggas rap about busting guns and all this weird shit. I'm trying to get my people back, nigga.
Bang, bang, bang. Bang, 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 bang,
bang. Bang, bang, bang. Man, we live. Shout out to everybody that's in the building with us. We live. You know what it is. MusicMediaLounge.com. Go check them out. You know, we live. And they live 24/7 technically. So down here in South Florida. You know what I mean? And to the world. You know what I mean? You can tap in with Music Media Lounge. I got to give them love for letting us come here and do our thing, the autonomous party, you feel me? Because we live in their studio, you dig? Through the campaign, because, you know, locally, through the campaign, the arts reality is live life autonomously, you know what I'm saying? Because that's how this party got started, to be autonomous, the autonomous party, you know what I mean? So that's, if you didn't know, that's now you know type shit. It's your boy, Matt Gaither. Shout out to Baron P, Gotta Green, my man Super Plays, you already know, campaign mix, you feel me? And shout out to all my party members, social club members, Maroonville, you already know what it is. Aboriginal Wall Street, first Sunday coming up. Don't sleep. But, you know, tonight's title obviously fits obviously a situation that we've been building on for a couple of years now, actually. Shout out to our guests tonight. And we want to be, you know, getting into the mode of, you know, the Negro Question Series lead us to some other things. So some other questions that are going to be led, that's going to connect to some things that's in the book. And he did drop a book making the statement because he's ahead of his time. So I wanted to make sure that I give him credit for that with the whole Negro Question Series. And even the question tonight that, you know, you might have seen the title is posed towards, you know what I mean? And obviously he dropped this book. You know what I mean? Some of our social club members obviously got it. And then we even proposed that we were trying to get people that wanted to learn Aramaic, because, you know, I'm biased to what he was pushing. Also, AKA, I guess they call it Paleo Hebrew, whatever how you feel. So either way, this Negro Question Paleo Hebrew Dictionary has a lot of stuff in it outside of just the alphabet and dictionary, certain things. So we're bringing them back because of some things we've come across. And he also has some things to break us down on current events and his thoughts. So we're going to bring him up right now, Mr. Lee Cummings. Pull up on us.
That's a great introduction.
I try.
You say you try.
I try.
This
I
guy.
try.
Hey, what's up? How's the weather in Florida, man?
Oh man, it's been raining every day.
You know they doing that on purpose to keep y'all in the house.
Every day around 4 o'clock.
You know they got that machine. You know they got some of the major countries have a machine called HAARP, HAARP. HAARP can control weather. The Russians sell it. It's a weather machine that controls weather up to 300 to 500 miles. Have you ever asked yourself the question, how is it that they can give you a 7-day forecast on the weather unless they make the weather?
I mean, that's a good question. See, you might go and do some other stuff with this now, you know.
A cat get on, he show up, the white boy show up with his glasses on, where they have a half-naked white girl. She show up on TV and give you a 7-day forecast, and you never ask yourself the question, how they know?
I mean, shoot, you know how some people
They
say,
did
you
it.
know,
They did it in Vietnam. They seeded. They ionized the clouds with seeds and made it rain in Vietnam every day. And part of the UN Charter is that no nation will use weather warfare against another nation. So if it's in the charter, that means
to
they
let
have
you
the
know they had
ability
it.
to do it. So I had to
I
do that
got
so
you.
I would come across as a kook. I had to bring
No,
that
no,
in.
you ain't pseudo with that. Now I like how
Yeah,
you did that. Kook, pseudo, that's
I
synonymous.
want nobody to say, oh, he done went bad on us. What's up, man?
I'm chilling, man. Yeah, man, I've been chilling, bro. You know, just I've been going through your book, man. I've had some time to get into the dictionary outside of the questions part,
Man, we
and we
doing
got more
something
questions
else
too.
now. We
I know
on
you
something else
I know
now.
you ahead of everything, but I'm trying to
Yeah,
keep
we
people
on
up
something.
with you. So I'm just trying to, you know, I always try to keep you up on what you, because I know you ahead of your time. So I want people to know, back to the future type of vibe. I get the chance to catch you while you're in action. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So this live, you know what I mean? Because everybody knows we do this live. So at the end of the day, I appreciate you for coming on and doing what you do with us. You have some current things. I don't want to ruin the other part I want to get into with the book yet. I want to ask you, it was something you told me when we talked, you know, behind the scenes about France and Nigeria. But before I do that, have you heard about what's going on with Russia and Africa as far as Putin and everything recently has been on the news?
Listen, man. Everything now I want you. I want your people that's out there. I want y'all to hear me. I want you to hear me because what I'm about to say right now is gonna sound. It's gonna sound. What's the word I would use? Fantastic, unbelievable.
Fantastic.
But the King James Bible foretold the Russian situation, the Russian thing, this thing that's going on with Russia, the European Union,
Yep.
and China. And wait a minute, China and parts of Africa is in Bible prophecy. For people don't understand, the King James Bible is not. It was not his Bible. Remember,
I'm glad you said that.
the Latin Vulgate was published in 380 AD by Jerome. They call him Saint Jerome. I don't know if the dude was a saint or not.
Right.
But anyway, that book was almost 2,000 years older than the King James Bible. The Great Bible or the Great Book that was published by King Henry VIII is older than the King James. The Tinsdale Bible. So
Tinsdale.
And wait a minute, and then now we got what? The Negro Question Bible. What one did I publish? See
Okay, the Blackamoor joint.
I'm in there, right?
You always ahead.
I gotta throw one of them in there sometime,
Plug
right?
it. Go ahead, plug it. Go
Hey,
ahead and plug it.
and they said, "Rumble, young man, rumble," right?
I
Hey,
ain't mad at you. We in the jungle. Yeah.
So what I'm trying to tell you guys is the oldest history book. I want you to quote me on this. The oldest history book in the world right now is the Bible. It's 6,000 years of human history, and it gives in detail how World War III is going to play out, and it's playing out just like the Bible said right before our eyes.
Well, I got something for you. I'm gonna show people in the audience. Can we pull up that's what they said recently with Putin and Russia and Africa real quick? Just because before we go into the one I know you want to talk about, the French, I want to make sure. Yeah, that's it. I want to make sure just so people see for themselves what's being said, you know what I mean? And again, I know you got something for me with the French joint too. You know what I mean? So I want to let all this play out because this, like you said, dealing with the new questions and everything you've been doing, I know you got something for this. So, yeah, here we go. All right, so Russia and Africa, 2024, trade and development prospects. You know what I'm saying? This is so obviously, you know, this is recent. It's going to say the 2023 Russia-Africa Summit is currently taking place in St. Petersburg with delegations from 49 African countries from the total of 54, of which are led by their respective heads of state. Despite a dip in trade in 2021 due to shipping distribution created as a result of the Ukraine conflict and Western sanctions, Russia's trade with continental Africa rebounded somewhat in 2022 to reach US 18 million. It says, in this article, we examine the background to Russian African trade, the infrastructure and institutions being put into place, and the overall trade and economic development of this important relationship in coming years. You know what I'm saying? Now, coming down, it says the background, Ukraine, unlike much of Europe, Russia has had no official colonial presence. Now, this is what I thought was, when you talked about Russia dealing with back in the day in the Negro Question series, and you said to them swarthy Russians and were down in Russia, they never got involved with the slave trade dealing with Africa or certain people, right? Am I right for you saying something like that to me before?
Yeah, that is correct.
All right, so when I seen this, I thought of you, for this conversation, and it says, unlike much of Europe, it says Russia has no official colonial presence in Africa, but the Soviet Union sought warm relations and allies in Africa during the Cold War, thus seeking to establish close ties with socialist movements and governments in the continent. It says, in the period after the collapse of the Soviet Union, Russia did not have the influence and presence of the past, causing the closure of some Russian diplomatic missions in Africa in the 1990s. It says, but in the late decade, Russia has paid more attention to the African continent, just as various African nations have begun critical reassessment of their European colonial legacy, largely with negative views. You slide down a little bit more. Let everybody see this real quick. They're interesting enough. And I got a comment. It's a quick little short clip. I want y'all to hear what Putin said out his own mouth, because I don't like to be capping, because I ain't gonna be saying his word verbatim. Can we play the quick little clip real quick? Then Lee, let me know what you think about from what I read and what he's saying currently right now. Give us 1 second. The short, give me the short real quick. Let's get a quick little short of what Putin said about Africa and Russia's current situation. There with us.
Этим угрозам Россия также предлагает свое содействие.
Oh, damn.
Заинтересована в самом тесном сотрудничестве
с
правоохранительными структурами и специальными службами Российской Федерации и стран Африки. Настроена и в дальнейшем вести подготовку военнослужащих и сотрудников органов правопорядка африканских стран в российских специализированных учебных заведениях. В противостоянии этим угрозам Россия также предлагает свое содействие. И мы заинтересованы в самом тесном сотрудничестве между правоохранительными структурами и специальными службами Российской Федерации и стран Африки. Настроена и в дальнейшем вести подготовку военнослужащих и сотрудников правопорядка африканских стран в российских специализированных учебных заведениях. В противостоянии этим угрозам Россия...
So basically, what it's basically saying, you couldn't read all that, right? Because I thought that's my bad. I don't know how much I thought I got the English translation. That's my fault. My bad, y'all. Either way, he talking in his real language, talking about Africa, though, either way, and how they're ready to train, set up institutions, and do certain things with the nations that they're allying with now, presently in Africa. But as you had stated earlier, and I heard you say this from a historical standpoint, from the Negro Question series, that when, especially dealing with dark-skinned people and how the Russians' relations has always been, they have a history of not being involved with certain things that, when people lump Europe into everything because of how we've been taught, we're learning that we can't lump everybody that's in Europe into the same situation. So go ahead and give me feedback on yourself.
Let's check this. So it's my turn?
It's your turn. It's your turn.
Now check this. 1619 to 1865, the Catholic nations of Europe, Portugal, Spain, the Dutch. Am I missing somebody? Portugal, Spain, the Dutch were involved in the North Atlantic slave trade. Okay. The British were not involved in the slave trade. The British bought the slave states of the South from Napoleon in 1803. So
say that again. Hold, stop there, please. I gotta make
Yeah.
sure people heard that. So you just said that 13 colonies did not involve. Say that again. Because I don't think maybe that might have went over people's
we
heads.
got two. We have to break America down into two regions: the North and the South.
Right. Go ahead.
The brothers in the North, the 13 colonies were founded by the Black Brits, the Black Germans, the Black Welsh, the Black Irish. And I can prove that's all proven in the Negro Question Part 6, the 13 Black colonies. Now
Right.
check this out. That's why there was no slavery in the North. In the
That
South,
part.
the Catholic Church, the Catholic countries, Portugal, Spain, the Dutch, backed by a papal bull, the Dum Diversa,
right,
legalized slavery of West Africans. Now I'm gonna make it brief because I know you got a show. Now check this out.
Go ahead.
They enslaved the brothers from Nigeria, all that entire region, West Africa. 1865, they passed the Emancipation Proclamation, abolishing slavery. 30 years later, 20 years later, 1884, the Gentiles or the Europeans, or what we commonly call, and we only use this word, ladies and gentlemen, as an adjective, a descriptive word. White folks, the white nations, decided they was going to have a meeting at the Berlin Conference down in Germany, Belgium, Germany, and it was chaired by King Leopold. That's when they decided they was going to carve up Africa. Russia went to the meeting. But when they told Russia, when they disclosed what they was going to do, Russia went back home. So the rest of the European nations went along with the plan, went down to colonize Africa. Fast forward, they stole all the materials to build to help with the Industrial Revolution or industrialization of Europe. Fast forward, 1927, the League of Nations. So you got the League of Nations. Guess who is not part of the League of Nations? None of the nations in Africa. Fast forward, 1947, the United Nations. Guess who's not sitting at the table at the United Nations? None of the nations in Africa. So these organizations are nothing but good old boy organizations. So now we fast forward to this generation, European Union, NATO. Not one African nation is part of the EU or NATO.
Right.
So every time they had these meetings, these are good old boy, white boy meetings. You say, well, what does this have to do with Russia and Africa? The white boys or the white nations have basically closed Russia. They stopped doing business with Russia. So Russia needs markets right now. What better market than what? Africa. Almost a billion. It's almost a billion black folk in Africa that need. This might make you laugh. They need combs. They need picks. They need tissue, oil, gas. They need food stuff, grain. So right now there's a scramble, an international scramble among these. I hate to say this because all white people ain't bad, but some of them are devils. Some of them are devils, just like some black folks are devils. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, probably you said it. It's black devils too. You heard me?
Yeah.
Go
So
ahead,
the thing is, it's a scramble right now for markets.
Right.
Now there's a prophecy in the book of Revelation. There's two prophecies that point to Russia. One is that Russia's coming across that Euphrates River in the 16th chapter of the book of Revelation. And another prophecy is Russia's going down into Africa to help the Africans.
Right.
This has already been foretold. So to sum up my rambling, Russia ain't never did nothing to Negroes. She's always been friendly to Negroes. And so let me tell y'all something. This latest move, I want you to hear this, people. This latest move is a cold move because I don't know if we ever had the discussion about fiat money. That's paper money that's not backed by gold nor silver.
Uh-oh.
That's that money y'all got in y'all pocket that you think has some value. It has no value.
Uh-oh.
The
Wake it up now,
Europeans,
Lee.
the Europeans went into Africa with paper money that had no value and bought the gold, the silver, the minerals, the uranium. They bought all that with paper money. But they made one mistake. The Africans were allowed to come to college, to go to universities in America and in Europe. They learned the game about the IMF, the World Bank, and paper money. They are upset because as far as African is concerned, they realize that they've been defrauded out of real money and been given play money, paper dollars.
Okay.
So that's what this is all about. That's the reason why.
I like that breakdown.
That's the reason why they told that when America, the U.S. and France said, okay, sanctions. We're not giving you no more aid. You know what the Africans said? Keep your money. Because they know it ain't got no value.
Gig is up.
Huh?
Lord. I said the gig is up in Africa, boy.
That's what this is. Hey, and if you don't believe it, if you get some time, you go on YouTube. There's a piece out of the Italian Parliament where one of the representatives is saying the same exact thing that I'm saying right now. So it's a Africa. I don't know. There was a white spokesperson who was the spokesperson for the white elite in the 70s. His name was Zbigniew Brzezinski, and he made a profound comment. He said that during the civil rights movement in the 60s, that it was the first time in the history of mankind that an entire planet woke up at the same time, that the entire planet was awake. And these white folks are looking down in Africa saying to themselves, all of these Negroes are awake. There's only one group of Negroes that's not awake right now. Who do you think it is?
Us in America.
So-called Negro in America.
85% of America.
He's so busy. He's so busy having fun. He got to have fun 7 days a week. You ask him right now about Nigeria, France, the IMF, and the World Bank. He don't even know what's good. He don't care.
Let me tell you, no. Matter of fact, I'm gonna sit here and say this to you. What actually made me even ask you the question and bring in the whole Russia thing is because I be on these social platform such as Clubhouse, and they be having these rooms with these titles dealing with things like this. I'll be honest, right? So I went in there and listened to just to get a gauge of what people's thought process is on what's going on with Russia and Africa, right? Because this is most of the people in the room are not Africans. They're not on the continent of Africa, but we would say they're
not concerned.
Right, but they still have opinions as if now because of Russia's problems with America, that Russia is a sellout, and that the Africans don't care about Black Americans because they're messing with Russia. Like this is what I really heard people say, and I'm like, how you gonna say something like that? I was like confused.
It has nothing to do. It has to listen, man. First of all, you in Florida, right?
Right.
What I look like coming down to Florida, trying to set up a dope spot in front of your house.
That's crazy.
If anybody gonna sell drugs on your block, it'd be somebody that's from Florida that live on the block. So this is I know it's a Cro-Magnon and a barbaric example, but this is what's happening. This is what's happening with NATO and Russia. They tried to set up a dope spot in Ukraine.
Real talk.
That's the best way. That's the
best analogy.
Way.
That's how they're gonna get it.
That's what it is, man. They said they were setting up. They were doing experiments, illegal experiments in Ukraine. They had illegal labs set up that was funded by the West. Then these people even requested nuclear weapons. You see how they conduct themselves? Could you imagine if the Ukrainians had nuclear weapons? So what we're looking at is we're looking at the way business is done in Babylon. America's Babylon, man. The West, the European nations in the West, they are an abomination. Everything they stand for is not Christ-like.
I got you. I want to say this to you. Matter of fact, no, I won't wait until we segue into the next part. Just to move along in what you're saying here. So now that's still dealing with Africa. You asked me earlier this week when we talked about France and their situation with Nigeria. So what's your thoughts on that, dealing with that particular
France
situation?
got a problem. See, France was giving the people in Nigeria $11 for the uranium. They was turned back around, sell that same uranium for $242. When the brothers in Nigeria found out, that was one of the reasons why the coup took place. They said, "Nah, man, we getting played." So now France is getting 15% of their uranium from Nigeria at $11 a pop. So when the brothers took over, you know what they told the French? They said, "Okay, it's time for y'all to go pack your bags, leave the country." You know what the French said? "We are not leaving." And then they said something to the effect, "We have interest in your company, in your country." Well, their interest is only $200 to $300 million, and that's not even France's money. This is the game right now. I'm gonna give y'all the game. I might as well.
Go ahead.
This the game. There are two banks that lends to countries, the IMF and the World Bank.
Right.
The European nations, all the Europeans put their money in a pool, and the IMF and the World Bank lend to these nations. America, I want y'all to hear this. America owns 30% of the IMF, International Monetary Fund, and then America owns 50% of the World Bank. You say, well, what's it got to do with France and Nigeria? I'm gonna give you the game. When you take a loan from the IMF and the World Bank, you have to open. The first thing they tell you is get rid of your president. We don't like dude. We like this dude over here. Second thing they do is they come and say you have to open up all your markets and let us flood the white nations, flood your markets. So if that farmer in Nigeria is selling eggs for $1 a pack, the G7 nations, the white European nations come in and sell that carton of eggs for 50 cents. Knock the farmer straight out the game. Then they go in and buy up all the infrastructure. So who owns your country after you take the loan?
That part.
The Europeans. So let me now I'm going to put a cap on this. In Aramaic, we call it a Rosh, R-A-S-H, Rosh or Rashi. It means chief or the top. We'll put a top on this. That means at the end of the day, if you took my money, even if it had no value, that land belongs to me now. Who owns these countries? IMF and the World Bank.
And then America owns their piece too. Either way, that's why they loaned that money.
It's
cold.
You know what we say?
Like they
what we
sent that
say on
money
the
to
block
Africa.
is the game is
that money
cold,
to
but
Africa.
it's
They sent billions to Africa.
But the Africans,
you know what I mean?
But the Africans came to America and they went to college and they learned the game. So the ones that they went back and told their people, "Hey man, the scam is real.
It's real."
And so the people that woke up, hey, they done woke up in Africa.
But see, why is it that our people don't understand this and we in the middle of it? Like how you sit in the belly of the beast and don't understand what's going on.
What does a slave do? The slave always protects his master.
Lord.
Now the slave don't even know what's going on. But whatever the master say, he gonna run with it. He's not gonna investigate for himself because he's a good slave.
Thank God I'm a maroon, you heard me? Yeah. See now,
so that's it in a nutshell, man. Huh?
All right, so no, that's some real shit. So with the whole this part now, see now this is how I can segue into this. Because of what you put out with the Negro Question series and everything you just said about Europe and Africa at its present time and what Europe's and IMF and everything is doing. You know what I mean? And obviously the people that you describe, obviously in breakdown and historical references that you use have broken down that these people are dark-skinned people coming out of Europe. Someone phrased it, "Oh, Europe is just Africa 2.0," like in the time frame of the 15th century. What would you say to that?
I would simply say, uh, do your research and go back and see what was the oldest skull that was found in Europe. It was called Grimaldi man.
That
That's
part.
the oldest skull. It's a brother, a black man. And right now in the British, I think it's the British Museum, there are 20,000 corpses that are
Mm-hmm.
being housed in that museum. You know why? They was trying to hide the evidence of all the black kings and the nobility of Europe. So they had a project where they went around digging up all the bodies. 20,000. That's what I got to say to that. Uh, 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 a supermarket was excavated. Beneath the cellar was excavated in France, and they found a couple hundred skeletons that were black buried under the supermarket that dated back
Mm-hmm.
to the Middle Ages, 1600s. They have a geneticist in Spain who states that the original people of Europe were dark-skinned people. Code word for black.
That part.
So what the Europeans are doing now is what we call damage control. And the damage control. Now, and some of you guys, you gotta like the statement this comment I'm about to make. Part of the damage control was when that fake prince over there in England married that black girl from America. So since they know that the gig is up and we know that everybody was black, look like they're trying to put some black back into their lineage. So the little prince, he calls himself a prince. How can you be a prince if you can't if you can't prove your royal lineage? He marries the black girl, whatever her name is. So now they're trying to add some. They want to add a little black DNA. So it's damage control. And then
It's damage control.
They came out and said Queen Sophia was black. Well, we already knew that because she was a German, and so was King George. All the Georges, King George the First, the Second, the Third, all of them were black German kings that sat on the throne of England. The first white to sit on the throne of England that was not black or was not a German or a Scot was in 1900. It's only been 100 years ago, y'all.
Some people won't like they won't let that sit in.
Deal with truth, man. We deal with truth. It ain't about race.
I know, me either. And that's why we have these conversations. See, me and you have a good conversation about this. It's in the joint, yo, in here, in this bad boy. You mentioned somebody by the name of James Anderson. Do you know who I'm looking for?
Was that a dictionary? Was that his dictionary?
He did a dictionary. And he basically stated the same thing that Benjamin Franklin stated, and it's in your dictionary. I'm trying to find it. I didn't want to fold it because I didn't want to mess up the dictionary. I should have folded it though, because now I'm live and I'm not prepared.
Was it under the Gentile on the JFAT?
It might have been. That's what I'm looking for. You had his face, so that's why I know he in here.
Well, James Anderson was he made the quote concerning the fact that the blacks overran all of Southern Europe.
Yeah, I got him on page 91.
Go ahead.
All right. On page 91 of the dictionary, it says the book, riddle of prehistoric times, right? So it says the black Brits, the black Welsh, and the black Scots settled in France, Spain, British Isles, and all over Europe. You know what I mean? Now, craziest part, I went and looked him up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And this James Anderson, like Benjamin Franklin, they got something in common. Freemasonry.
Right.
They both got Freemasonry in common.
Right.
James Anderson's dealing with a 1717 Constitution over there in London for the Grand Lodge at this time. And Benjamin Franklin takes the same Constitution in Philadelphia in 1734.
Exactly.
So when you make the statements in 1751 and you pointed it out, you blew it up. People might not want to give you credit for it, but the observations of mankind dealing with Benjamin Franklin in 1751, you know what I mean?
Right.
And how that whole thing lays out when you read it. Oh man, listen here. Between these two guys back to back, Like they back to back and they connected. So it's like
And
people.
wait a minute, and they both have white skin.
Yes, and they both white men.
Two
You know what
white
I'm saying?
men telling
Like
what?
straight up.
Telling the whole world that all of Europe used to be black.
Yes. Yes.
And you
And
can't.
they're
Hey, even if you don't know who Mr. Anderson is, there's no disputing the credibility of Benjamin Franklin. And to this day, no white scholar has dared to refute that statement or even bring it up in an argument.
yeah, we got arguments with people that look like us though all day long. They clone Tyrone. You feel me? So they want to argue with us about what white men actually were telling us who we were in the 1700s. You feel me? That's in the Americas. Because every now and today, so I guess because people that look like us told us that everybody came out of Africa. But that's a whole nother situation because everybody be mixing this dope up right now. Like, but the chemistry ain't right. It's bad dope. It's bad juju. You feel me? This right here, though, get into. So I want to show you a couple things that we found dealing with you giving us this book. You know what I mean? Got to give you credit. People got to get this book, man. I'm going to always plug it in because it sends you different places. Like I dug up James Anderson. You feel me? And I was like, holy shit, Lee. Lee, boy, you on some shit. Excuse me. Sorry, y'all. I apologize. But either way, give me that dictionary joint real quick. So the Aramaic, because this book also has Aramaic in it. And you brought up the oldest Bible in history, and you used some verses from the Bible and everything like that. So I want to show two different definitions, and I kind of want to walk back to also a certain group that you also have in your dictionary. You know what I'm saying? Ethiopia, right? And situations of that too. So this is all going to be connected. So check this out real quick. So now this is from the Dictionary of Scots, being that you don't want to point out that the Black Scots were the ones in this territory. Now, the reason why I used Blackamoor, obviously, because I get in trouble on certain platforms trying to use Negro now. You know what I mean? Because Negro has been, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to be educational, you know what I'm saying? I'm using Blackamoor. So, however, coming up, you know what I'm saying? So they can't get mad at me, right? Because I'm using their dictionary. It's saying Morin, and it's given at 1509, 1529, 1530, all the way up to 1597, 1600. And it's saying adjective, Moorish, Moorish race, B, dark, swarthy, noun, Moor, Blackamoor, Negro. So everything that they're designating for these swarthy people would be synonymous with the terms right there. Would you agree with that?
I have no problem with this.
Okay, bet money. Now, the next joint, this is where it get interesting. I'm using lexicon. Give me the next source real quick. We're moving past this fast so I can get to where I'm trying to go. Because I ain't trying to hold you all night. You know what I mean? I just want to get to these things real quick. Because it's something, I'm tapping in with you and to let me know if I'm off course or something. Because, I've been digging through everything you gave us to look through. And this is my questions and people that might be telling me certain things. So I'm bringing it to you live, right? So this Greek dictionary, lexicon, concordance, it comes down and it says Ethiopian equals black, right?
Right.
And then it comes down again. And it says from however that the Greek word is, ethio to scorch. Then it comes again and highlights that right there. Then it comes across and it says the face, and it says from G3700, an Ethiopian, and in parentheses it has as a Blackamoor. So Blackamoor is synonymous with Ethiopian based off this lexicon.
Yeah, Blackmoor, right.
Blackamoor, right. So these are adjectives of a person that's a dark-skinned person. So swarthy would be basically synonymous with Ethiopian in certain manners of description, right?
Well, swarthy just means black. That's all it
Right.
means.
I want to make sure we're on the same page because some people have told me, Lee.
Swarthy means black. Tawny means
like
brown.
Brown, right. So some people would tell me though, and have told me since we've had you on our show, and I swear I ain't making this up, that swarthy meant in some cases a pale-skinned person with black hair, dark hair, or some kind of situation, or because they were criminals or some shit like that.
No, you got look in the under in that dictionary. I think it's under Y, under the letter Y, the yard.
Right.
There's a dictionary from what's this guy's name? Johnson. And I think the dictionary was published in 1650 or 1750. and he gives a definition of swarthy in his generation. It's called the Johnson. Where's your dictionary? It's called the Samuel Johnson, I think, dictionary, and it's 1751. And and I do stuff like that. I go back. I tell people all the time, if you want to know what a word means, you got to go back to the generation that the word was being used in, and then look at that.
Etymology, yes, I agree.
From that particular generation. Don't let nobody from this generation give you a definition because they be hating. I found a dictionary. You believe that?
That's facts.
It just
That's
came
a
out of here.
factual
Just
research.
fell
That's
out
a
the
factual research thing. Some people like to go off of some new term blog that somebody gave you in the 1900, 2000.
a modern description. No, it don't work. That's not
It
how
don't
it
work
works.
that way. That's not how that shit works. I be trying to tell them. That's some weak research. I don't know who they got that from. I was just trying to help them out, but they weren't trying to listen. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, black
However,
folk, here
hey,
it is.
people be
Here it
in their
is.
feelings. Facts
You
over
got
feelings,
it?
though.
Did you find it?
With
Man,
me,
I ain't looked at. Here it is, right here. Go to page 91, and you can read it for the people.
all right, hold on.
91, and it's called the Samuel Johnson English Dictionary, and it was published in 1788. And we was not even a thought at that time. None of us.
Word. Matter of fact, that's the same page where James Ennis is on. Right.
Yeah,
It's the same page. I went away from it. Okay,
Yeah.
so boom. Right underneath Benjamin Franklin. So anybody that don't know, you know what I'm saying, it's right underneath Benjamin Franklin. You know what I mean? And then it comes down and it says Swarth. You know what I'm saying? And then Swarthy, and then it has darkly brown. Then it comes down. That's a picture I'm reading from. And then it says, figure 1. Samuel Johnson English Dictionary, 1788. It says the ancient Brits, Scots, Irish, Germans, Spanish, French, Dutch, Italians, and Russians were swarthy.
Yeah,
That's what it says. You know what I mean? So these folk,
So wait a minute, but look at the date on that dictionary.
Well, it says 1788.
1788. This is how you deal with people, man. You say, okay, you gonna dispute this? What is your dispute predicated or based on? Oh, a modern dictionary. Well, let's go back during the 1700s and see what the definition of a swarthy person was, and then let's go back and look at Benjamin Franklin's essay and see if it matched. If Benjamin Franklin's essay was 1751,
right?
That dictionary right there is what, 1788.
88.
So
right.
Guess what that tell you, bro? That tell you that at that particular time in history, it was understood that somebody swarthy was what? Was black, Moorish, or Negro.
Thank you. I'm glad you just said it like that. That's all. People don't get it. Like they ain't getting it.
No, they just it ain't about. Look, you don't
they ain't getting it.
You know the problem that we have as
crazy.
a people.
It's crazy.
Our people hate teachers. They hate their teachers. We're the only one that hate our teachers. We're the only one that most of the brothers and sisters out there self-taught. That's spooky to me. That's like taking your car that's like going to an auto mechanic. The cat, nobody taught him. You say, hey man, my engine, I need some engine work. How much you charge? Mama, I said, okay, how long you been doing this? Who taught you? Oh, I woke up one morning, I was smoking a blunt.
Yeah.
I could fix it. Would you take your car to this dude? No.
Never.
Would you go to get brain surgery from somebody that never had a teacher? No, you
it's crazy. Wouldn't. It's ridiculous.
So history.
I'm flabbergasted.
History is one of the great foundations of this world. And the elite, rich people who think they rich because they got shiny things, diamonds and gold and silver, they think they're rich. They don't talk about money. They talk about history. And history is the real wealth of the world. I'm a rich man.
Me too, sir.
I'm a zillionaire or trillionaire.
Yes, sir. I'm tied into the infinite. This light turn on.
Man, come on, man.
The whole shit go blind if they want me to let this whole thing out. He promise you, this whole thing go blind in here right now. No, but So, at the
Like
same
they
time,
say in
though,
Jamaica, me go on tell your man.
go on with it. Go on with it.
Him a pick me, man. Pick
And
me.
pick me.
Bumble clock, Ross clock.
Yeah. Straight off the chain, bro. Hey, he know he on one right in it. No, but at the same time, though.
Respect, man, respect. Go ahead. Say what?
All right.
All right.
Whew, God damn. All right, so I got another joint real quick. This Jewish Encyclopedia joint. I think that's why I got up next, right, God? This whole joint, it's this dealing with the Aramaic part. So the Aramaic language, right?
Right.
You got the dictionary. You've been saying it. You got a class. I know you teaching it. I want you to tell people about that because people don't take it serious. I guess it got to be just pounded on them a little bit that you really teach a class on this language, Aramaic. And matter of fact, did I miss one? I missed one. Go to that one first then, because that's what's going to tie this whole question part in right here too, so I can get it right. I don't want to miss nothing for this question. Make sure I'm on point here. All right, here we go. So yeah, this Aramaic, interesting as it showed that other dictionary, Ethiopian, Moor, Negro, synonymous terms for descriptions, and this history of a certain area in Africa, or what they call the Ethiopic language, right? And it's clearly kind of going into something when I saw something with this link. That's what made me say, I'm Lee Cummings, tell me what you think about this. This is from International Standard Bible Encyclopedia Online, right? So we're gonna slide down real quick. Jesus, what they would call today the Ethiopian language from a tribal standpoint. Come down a little bit though. Everybody can see that. They talk about the kingdoms and stuff like that. I really want to get straight to the part. You're moving too fast. You're moving too fast. You're moving too fast. Unless you're going to help me highlight it. Can you highlight it? Aramaic. We're looking for the word Aramaic in this link because my eyes, cataracts. You might help me out a little bit.
You got cataract. Y'all hear this guy? It made
All right, here we go.
Self-inflicted.
Self-inflicted. Yeah, bet the money. Hey,
Go
pain
ahead.
and pleasure.
That's
Pain
like,
and pleasure. You gotta
yeah,
take
good
it what
shot.
it is. It says this part is that the first one though? That's the first one time it pulls up on the link. All right, cool. All right, so it says the different books of scriptures were translated by different men, some whom rendered literally, some more according to the sense, some having a good, some only a poor knowledge of the language from which, and the language into which they translated. Both testaments were translated from the Greek by men whose mother tongue was probably Aramaic.
Hold on.
Right there.
That's
Go
a
ahead, go
lie.
ahead.
That's
Hey,
a
I want
lie.
to hear what you thought. I want to hear what you
No,
think.
that's
Go
right.
ahead.
We're gonna stop right there, but that's a lie. And,
All right.
and it's ironic that we having this conversation because I discovered in the 29th and the 30th chapter of Genesis as late as yesterday that Aramaic was written and spoken by Jacob and Joseph and them as late as 1957 BC.
Yes, but I thought it was going further.
Now
Way
check
back.
this out. Now
Way back.
this flies my new research that hasn't even been written in the book yet. My new research flies in the face of the so-called modern scholar who says that Aramaic has only been spoken since the 9th century BC. Well,
Yeah, they're wrong.
I could prove that it was spoken 1,000 years earlier.
Uh-oh.
Almost 2000 BC.
Uh-oh.
So Hebrew was given to the Greeks by us, not the other way around. And then the Greeks gave it to the Romans, and then it was dispersed into the rest of the world. That is a linguistic historical fact.
Book. So I did that for a reason. See, I've been reading your shit. I've been reading your shit, so that's why I had to say this to myself.
Now
like,
check this out.
That ain't adding up. This ain't adding up though. What they saying here though. Go
And
ahead.
you got my Bible, the Negro Question Bible.
I don't got the Bible though.
All right, the Negro Question Bible, guys, has all your Bibles are missing the original introduction to the King James. Your big mama, your great grandmama, her Bible's missing it. that pastor, that church you go to, his Bible's missing. He don't even know it's missing. He didn't even know it was an introduction in there. But the introduction to the 1611 King James Bible tells you that King James have translated the scriptures, the Old Testament, from the original Aramaic Hebrew. Like the Jamaicans say, fact, man. Me not lie, man. Fact. These are facts, man. These cats be out here writing this
turned
stuff.
up right now.
Who are these people, man? Huh?
I said you turned up right now. That's all.
16.
Hey,
So
hey,
you out
just
there?
because you say that, I'm letting you know I'm gonna buy it. I'm buying I can see the Blackamoor Negro Bible. I'm gonna buy your joint. Aramaic translation.
Yeah,
I gotta
man,
support you. Yeah,
listen,
I'm supporting you with
listen,
that. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm
this
buying
cat
that from
right
you.
here, this is insane.
That's
Greek,
real.
The Old Testament was if the Old Testament, I'm gonna hit y'all with something. If the Old Testament, most of us drive cars. I'm gonna use this as an example and an analogy. Most of us drive cars. Have you ever tried to put your door key inside your ignition to start your vehicle? It ain't gonna work, is it?
No, it's not gonna work.
So if the Old Testament was translated from Greek, then when you go back to translate it with the original Hebrew, it's not gonna work.
That part.
Because you got two different keys. This is the reason why Aramaic works perfectly with the Old Testament, because the old from Genesis to Malachi, or actually from Genesis to Malachi and the book of Matthew was translated from the original Aramaic language. I can prove that, man. But
I believe you already. I know. Matter of fact, I know for myself. I want people to hear from you.
Huh?
But they're gonna believe me anyway. They ain't gonna believe me, so I wanted you to tell them. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm on it. I'm already agreeing with you. See, so I got this book right here, a Zohar book.
Yeah.
I went to one of their stores, the Kabbalah Center. See, I got it from the Kabbalah Center. You know what I'm saying? It's called the Zohar, from right to left too, right? And this is Aramaic. And I know they tell you in history this was written in Aramaic. I want to see, and even though they try their best, but everything you're saying is on point. I'm showing you because I be going to see for myself to make sure, like, yeah, you on point. You know what I mean? In the Jew.
Open it up. Let me see a couple lines.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Make my screen big, real quick, before we go into that link. Now, see how it's written, how it's set up. So it's set up. Wait, make me big. Yeah, they got this from the Kabbalah Center, literally.
Open it up. I want to see if it's Aramaic.
Watch this.
Hey, could you
hold on. I'm trying to get to a. Let me just find it because it's different how they write it because it's from right to left. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to find it. Hold on, let me find it. They do it like that. Hold up.
I want to see if it's. I want to see if they're using this. Hey, it's moving. Could you make it push it a little closer? Is
that better?
Is that big as you can make it? That's not Aramaic.
I thought you were going to say that.
That's that square script. That's that Masoretic script.
Because yours is not the same as that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to tell you.
This right here is not the same as that. You know what I'm saying? I'm checking. No, I'm saying, hey, I'm gonna let you know.
That's not Aramaic.
I had to put up for you real quick. Hey, sometimes, you gotta buy shit to know. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't know.
Hey,
like,
that
hold on,
script, hey, check this out, G. That script right there is only about 900 years old.
That's the old. Like this is right. This is the one they're trying to make. That script right here.
That ain't no more than 900 years old to 1,000 years old max. Aramaic is 6,000 years old. This is what they be doing.
Yeah, it's the part, man.
Talking about this is Aramaic, man. Come on, man. Stop playing. You know what I mean? You tried to get me, man.
No, man, I had to pull one so I could let people see it in real time.
Let me try to say, wait a minute. These guys trying to pull a fast one. Who is this guy? Boy, you better be glad I took a nap today. I was packed. I came in the house and I passed out for about an hour.
I've been waiting for this one. I was waiting for this one. I could use this.
Yeah, they try to say you should go back to the store and say, hey, man, this is fraud. This is not Aramaic. This is Masoretic.
This right here is what I was like when I seen this and I seen that. I'm like, wait a minute, that shit ain't the same. This ain't something ain't right. Something
we
ain't
finna,
right.
we're going to start teaching the brothers and sisters how to speak Aramaic.
Yeah, that part.
That's what we own now, man. We done took it from the reading, the writing, and the translation phase, and now the next phase is to actually to resurrect the language, and we're doing that.
Yeah, hey, that's a beautiful thing. Because see, people are confused. I think people confused. You know what I mean? They're looking at stuff that they thinking people using the See, etymology is a big thing, like you said, the root. So when you look at certain things, I'm looking at it. Even when I look at how I always can do a comparison, because that's why when you first told me about the dictionary, I went and got it from you because I was like, and I was telling people like, yo, I already know that Aramaic is older than what they're trying to tell us it is, and at the same time, you ain't gonna be able to translate anything from this ecclesiastical book if you don't understand the Aramaic language is the original book language of the book. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So at the same time, I mean, the Torah, all that was originally written in Aramaic. You know what I mean? All these, man, listen, help it. Either way, I want to show something because I was going to show you that. That's my next thing. And after that, I'm gonna let you slide. I ain't have much. That was really all I really wanted. The Aramaic part, I want you to and also plug in the class and the people get a hold of you, and obviously the book series and everything like that. But Aramaic language, it says here. This is from the Jewish Encyclopedia. So I'm just measuring things. I want to hear your opinion.
I want you to stop at the first comma.
All right, the first comma, bet money. All right, so considered foreign by the ancient Hebrews. It says of all. It's a Semitic, but I would like to say Shemitic. But it's a Semitic languages.
Okay, hold on. You know why they call it Semitic?
Go ahead.
See, first of all, the spelling is wrong.
Uh-oh.
The name is supposed to be Shem. Shemitic.
Right.
So they dropped the H, now it's Semitic, because Shem is the father of all the Hebrews, right?
Yeah, that part.
Now check this out. Now they said of all the Semitic languages, go ahead.
All right. And then it says the Aramaic is the most closely related to the Hebrew. Informs with it.
Now stop at the comma. Why? How the hell can Aramaic be closely related to Hebrew when Aramaic is Hebrew?
Uh-oh.
Y'all see the scam?
Uh-oh.
Just the scam they running. They trying to make it seem like our language was not Hebrew. Listen, man. In my research, I've come to understand that a lot of the words that they're using in Jerusalem come from the original root word. The root word is Aramaic.
Right.
You know what the root is? Everything springs from the root. So if your language in Jerusalem is springing from, you keep going back to the root, you're going back to Aramaic.
That was the question I had.
Come on, man. They playing.
I wanted people to catch that.
They playing, man.
Because if Shem is the father from the religious standpoint of the Hebrew, and then they say that Shem became the Negro, that means Negro would be synonymous with the Blackamoor and the Moorish people who were speaking Aramaic. You see where I'm going?
You can see. Well, we got proof that Aramaic was spoken in Europe.
Go ahead. That's the part.
One of the symbols in the graveyards is called the Celtic cross. Now, the Celtic cross is not a cross. It is the Aramaic symbol. The Aramaic letter is called the Tet.
The Tet.
The Tet. Check this out, G. The Tet is a circle with an X in the middle of it. That's not a cross.
Hey, Tet Adams, bitch.
That's the Tet. So all over Europe, this is crazy. All over Europe, in these cemeteries, is the Tet. And you know what it says? The Tet is like a symbol that says, "This is the place."
Motherfucker. Excuse me, friend.
You remember we
I'm gonna go watch
play, I don't know if you guys in the South played baseball. Strikeout. Did y'all ever draw boxes on the walls and put an X in the box?
Like X-Men. Yeah, that part. Yeah.
That's the Tet. But that's the Tet, but it's round, not square. But go ahead.
No. You dropped the jewel. You dropped the bomb. You dropped the bomb right there. That was a bomb. People might not even catch it. You know what I'm saying? But it's a bomb. So at the same time, I'm used to, that's why I like to talk to you about this. So see, they had the Zohar here too. That's why I brought it. See, because that's why I brought it. Because I don't want nobody to think I'm capping, like I ain't like got a book and went and got the book so I can show people I ain't tripping or something like that. It's a little small book, put in your pocket and shit, But either way, it says it here on the side in blue. It says the Zohar, the language of Amorim, the Targum, the Aramaic version, all that. So I brought this just for source material. But either way, it says you possibly. Well, I'm gonna start back. So because we were breaking down piece by piece, I'm gonna say where it says Aramaic is most closely related to the Hebrew and forms with it, and possibly with the Assyrian. The northern group of Semitic languages, Aramaic, nevertheless, was considered by the ancient Hebrews as a foreign tongue.
That's a lie. That's a lie, man.
Go ahead.
Come on, man. How can your father's language be foreign? That's a lie. That's not no foreign tongue. Read the 10th chapter of Genesis. Shem had a son. His baby son was Aram. The language was named after him.
Right.
Aram, Aramaic.
Right.
I want y'all to hear this. Abraham sent his servant to get a wife for his son Isaac. He sent his servant to Pandan Aram. What are they talking about, man?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
There was a land called the land of Aram. All that was Mesopotamia on the ancient maps. There's no foreign tongue. This is a lie.
Hey, listen, man. I gotta just, this is why, like I'm, I caught it. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I've been telling people, I'm on the record telling people Aramaic, my favorite foreign language.
Down where it says the Syrian language.
All right, some of that I'm gonna come back. So where was I? All right, so this says, in 100 years before the Babylonian exile, it was understood only by people of culture in Jerusalem. Thus, the ambassador of the Assyrian king, who delivered an insolent message from his master in Hebrew language and in hearing of the people sitting upon the wall, was requested by the high officials of King Hezekiah not to speak in Hebrew, but in the Syrian language, which they
stop.
Go ahead.
Stop.
Go ahead. Yeah.
When you go back and read the ancient text, the word for Syria is Aram.
That part.
See, this what I'm trying to tell you. Listen, man.
That part. I want people to see that.
The word is, hey, I tell you, hey, you in the back part. Fact check me right now.
Fact check.
What is it? Google. What is the Aramaic name for Syria?
All right.
And it should say Aram. It should say Aram.
All right, that's good. We're gonna do it live. We're doing it right. Got a green on it. We're gonna pull up. We're gonna come back to this.
It should say Aram on the fact check. The Aramaic word or name for Syria should be Aram.
Pull up. You ain't switched over, Cole? Oh. Here we go.
What do you got?
Let me see. We're gonna pull up right now. We're gonna find out. Let him do his work. I'm like you. I'm waiting on him.
You know.
I'm like you right now, waiting on him. We're gonna find. You said do it live, so we live.
Let me check my little dictionary again.
Oh, here we go. All right, here we go. Sierra Dictionary.
See, hold on. You see what it says?
Yeah, Syria and Syrian are the Greek names for Aram. Aramean. Aram, excuse me.
There it is right there.
Aram, right.
Aramaic, that ain't respectively. No, that's right. Not a Greek name, bro.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I know this. I know this.
But at least they told the truth. That Syria is a what? Aramaic name for Aram.
Right.
Man, look, I'm the real deal.
That's why I test you live.
The real
We
deal, not a
live.
game, is it, man? Ain't no
It's
game,
not a
it's
game,
real.
no. We're gonna do it live.
So when the brothers on the wall, go back to that scripture.
Go back to the joint we
previous,
just had up.
yeah, when the
please.
brothers on the wall said, "Speak to us in Syrian
Right.
language," they were saying, "Speak to us in what?"
In Aramaic. That's real.
Don't, hey man, this say you get knocked out over here. Rumble, young man, rumble. What did that do? That's cold, ain't it?
Yeah, I see you. I see you. You hear it? I see you. You know what I mean? So we were
Yeah,
just there.
Syrian language was Aramaic. You know why?
Right.
Because Syria was part of the land of Aram.
Hmm. What would you say from this standpoint? Where would Aram be located to you? Would that be in the continent of Africa?
It was Mesopotamia. It was ancient Mesopotamia, man.
Right.
I got a map. Let me see.
Mesopotamia.
Get up. I got a map.
Mesopotamia.
Right here.
So that I mean, this is prior to it being called Asia too, right? Obviously, Mesopotamia.
See, Asia is taking Mesopotamia is Iran,
way older.
Iraq.
Right.
Asia takes
Make
you
sure we
over
get this
into,
area
takes
right.
you over into Turkey.
Turkey.
Because 98% of Turkey is in Asia. The other 2 to 3% is in Europe.
Right, and that means all that region of Turkey, and they would be speaking that part of Europe. They would have been speaking Aramaic, right? That's what I'm trying to get to. So all them dark-skinned people in the regions outside of just Africa or Mesopotamia, North Africa, going into Europe, all that area in ancient times, them people were speaking Aramaic, right?
Listen, man.
Okay.
There was during the time that Israel was being carted off and deported into slavery by the Assyrians in 722 BC, and then by the Babylonians in 587 BC. Now, but right around 722 to 722 BC, there was an Aramaic language explosion in Anatolia, modern Turkey. All the stone steels down there written in Aramaic. The brothers got fringes on. They got the candlesticks on. They doing animal sacrifice. They got bulls that are circumcised, altars with fringes on them. Listen, man, these are the facts. Aramaic. People say, well, what difference does it make? The Lord's going to turn the whole earth back to one language. What they don't understand is this. There's something about this language, man. That language can heal. It'll heal your mind. That language comes from on high. It's the language that was when the Lord talked to the Apostle Paul on Damascus Road. He spoke to him in the Hebrew language, Aramaic. John is on the island of Patmos, talking to the angel in Aramaic. The book didn't say that the angel talked to him in another language. He talked to John in the language that he understood, Aramaic.
Aramaic. Yeah.
See, they don't want. I saw a piece on YouTube 2 weeks ago, and the Ukrainian, the head of the museums, the museum departments in all of Ukraine made a comment. He said, even though we at war with Russia, he said we must maintain our culture, our society,
right,
our language.
Our language.
When I saw that, I said, you know, that makes sense. How can you claim to be a people if you don't have your own language?
Well, some people actually say, and you actually, showed me this too, dealing with the English language we speak today, right? The English language is technically, the script is from Aramaic because it's the base of our English language today.
Right.
You know what I mean? 19
of the letters are Aramaic.
19 of the letters. You know what I'm saying? So that's a majority.
19 of the so-called, 19 of the alleged English alphabet. See, that English didn't have a language.
Right.
So they say, well, because remember, the white man writes in his own history book that the white barbarians overran Western Europe in 450 AD. That's in his history book.
That's history. That's not Hadrian Wall and all that shit. Yeah.
But then the book said he could not speak a language. The Vatican sent a priest down in 630 AD to teach the white barbarians how to speak a language. They learned how to speak a language around 900 AD. They've only been speaking a known language for 1,000 years. So when they invade, this ain't racism. And people they'll try to put race on truth. You can't do that. It has no color.
That part.
So when they said we speak the English language, well, at that time the black English, they were black. They were speaking Hebrew. So the white barbarians, I always tell these white scholars, I do little tests because I hang out at Starbucks. I say, hey, man, I said, which letter in the English alphabet is actually English? And I've had them say, that's a good question. None of them. Because the 7 letter, the 19 of the letters are Hebrew, and the other 7 are Greek and Latin. So which one is English? None of them.
People running around here fighting each other over this goddamn language, don't know what the language is. You see me?
It's not English, man.
And 19 of them go back to the language of original people, Aboriginal people, all around the world.
I'm making this
what
up.
They say. You hear me, guys? This right here.
This is how you get. See, this is the difference between yelling and screaming and embarrassing one another. This is how you get to the bottom of stuff. We got some people out here, man. We got some agents that have crept in amongst us. Some of them are white. Some of them are white. Some of them look just like us. And all they do. And all they want to do is argue. Why? The more they argue, they keep our people from learning.
Distractions.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of distractions.
We don't care about race. We just want to learn.
That part. Truth is the truth. So we're going to get back to this one.
The land of Aram stretched from the Euphrates to the Indian Ocean. And you could pick, if you don't believe me, if you're out there, go and get the Antiquities of the Jews, and the author is Josephus, Flavius Josephus, and he writes that the habitation of the seed of Shem was from the Euphrates to the Indian Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
We had
this is what people need to understand, though. Because see, some people just confine what we call today a Negro to just Africa. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And what we've been telling folk is that even though they're saying the origin of dark-skinned people, black in America, is Africa, when we understand what you've been breaking down based off the Negro questions, is that these dark-skinned people that came into America didn't come out of the slave storyline of West Africans being uncivilized.
That's white power.
Right.
White
exactly.
power. If I'm going to maintain white power and white superiority in the complex that goes along with it, what do I do in the classroom? Hey man, we enslaved that. No, you didn't. The brothers was here. They was free. When you came here, you was looking for land. That's the true narrative. How do I know? Because King James bought land from the black indigenous people. It's in the original charters. Some of y'all
the black indigenous people.
Listen, man. Some of y'all been in.
That's the Lucy.
You've been to college. You in grad school. You sitting with some of the great scholars, some of the great black minds in this world, and you have never read the original charter of these different states. If you read them original charters, you'll see where King James bought land from these black indigenous people.
From these black indigenous
because
people.
Because remember what Benjamin Franklin said, all of America was what? Benjamin Franklin said all of America was swarthy. Ain't no such thing as a red man. Wasn't no red man. Only red man was Esau.
Oh, Lord. I'm gonna let you go.
Hey, guys.
I ain't got no more for him tonight.
Hey, man, this is what I want. Hey, I want you guys. Hey,
let it breathe.
I'm gonna start putting my class together, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna lamad, ma, al, ama, Aramaic, Aramaic, Ibri. We're gonna teach the people how to speak Aramaic Hebrew in this class. You better be able to look over at your woman and say, talk calm yacht, you pretty. Little stuff like this. You see what I'm saying? Hey, You be able to look at. Hey, you be able to look up
This
at
way
the
he said
sun.
it. He's player style too, Chicago style.
Hey man,
Hey.
listen. You be able to look up at the sun on a hot day and say, "Shamash, Shamash, hey ya, hum." The sun is hot. So you be able to. You gonna learn these little phrases, how to ask questions, make statements. We be on the elevator, man, as a people. They ain't gonna know what we talking about. You understand? We go cold on these folks. This thing is spread throughout the country. They be like, these Negroes speak Aramaic. Who taught? We don't. How they learn it? It was because they said that it was dead.
How they learn it?
Hey man, think ahead of the game.
I'm ahead of with you, bro. Listen,
right? We
I'm on the
we
Blackamoor trail
we
like I'm
done
on the
arguing.
indigenous one. Estelusti, you heard me?
We done arguing. Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all argue. You guys over there, y'all argue, and we'll make the progress.
Indeed.
Hey, go to the Negro Question Bookstore.equity.
Show them the source before we get out here too. Show that website for them.
Shop with me. Okay, we got everything you need, and we got the video out. You saw the video.
That video.
Right?
That video was hard. We showed people.
We got the video out, man. We got the Negro Question, and we're working on the second video. I was so burnt out after I did the first video, I got lazy. But really, what it was, I was fat. I didn't know I was fat. You know how somebody you get out of shape? People say, "Hey man, you kind of chunky." No, that's water weight. So I started back to working out, and I realized, man, I'm fat. So it took me, hey man, it took me about 4-5 months to drop that fat. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So I got a little distracted. Hey, this is my bookstore, guys. Come on over to the bookstore, shop with me, put the word out, and then I'm gonna advertise the class. This is my focus. I need 30 to 50 students. I'm not gonna charge for the class. Now, this is how we're gonna do the class, bro. We're not gonna charge you for the class. You could take this Aramaic speaking course, learn how to speak Hebrew for free. All we ask is that you make a donation every time you show up for class. Just like you go to the Sunday church and you don't learn nothing, and you give that preacher all your money. So when you show up for the class, hey, so you show up for the class, you got $1, give you $1. You got 5, give 5. That's all we ask for. The class is free.
Call that Bible the Blackamoor Bible. You heard me? All right, watch it.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So the class is free. So go to the bookstore. Keep an eye out for it. And I want 30 to 50 students. I want 30 to 50 students. I guarantee you that in 30 days I have you speaking Aramaic.
Hey, put it out there for the people. You know what I'm saying? Can't say we don't do this live.
You know how I know?
He's saying it to y'all, so you heard what it is.
I've been working with a control group, so I can do this. This is easy. And these white folks, oh, it's a dead language. Oh, it's gonna be hard. No,
why they want it to be dead so bad? I've heard everything I'm reading from it. Let me look at things from a different perspective.
I got
because they told us this Greek shit that they gave us. Excuse my French. I don't follow my Greek folk out there, but it's Hellenistic. I'm sorry. The language is not. It's corrupted. It's not saying the same thing. It's not saying the
Greek
same thing.
didn't have a language.
In that block script, you just said like the
Greek
green
didn't have a language. The Greek
right in this green joint, this right here today, I showed you. Like you said, it's a difference. This is
the Greek didn't have a language. You know what this is? This is people throughout the ages trying to add on to our alphabet. That's all it is. Throughout all the ages, you if you go back, the Greeks originally wrote from right to left. It's called Bastraphadan writing. That's in that dictionary as well. Right. And we got evidence from ancient Crete that shows that the Greeks wrote from right to left, then left to right, then right to left. It's called Bastraphadan. It's like a bull or ox plowing a field. And then we also have evidence from the Roman Colosseum that the Romans, I know y'all ain't gonna believe this, they originally wrote from what? Right to left, like the Hebrews. So everybody copied our style. Then after they copied our style, they started tinkering with the letters. That's what happened. That's why you got the Masoretic script, the square script, You got the Samaritans down in Israel. They got a script that that's it closely resembles Aramaic, but it's not the symbols. But other than that, that's all I got. And I'm
Hey, I'm
sorry.
letting you know, Lee. Hey, I'm putting a bet out there for some folk too. If because if anybody, because we do this live with you, I'm letting you know that I'm telling you because I'll be rocking with you. And this information about the Black European, this information about the Aramaic language, the Blackamoor, and everything we just went through tonight, and these are people being part of the lineages of being a part of America when they came into the Americas, as you have broken down throughout that series, and then obviously, as you said it, mixing with Black indigenous people of this land. So that combination of who we are today, some people want to dispute that, and out of Africa theory, I'm willing to put I want somebody to show me something, but you've been really a light on this type of thing for people to get a different view of
But
what
you know what? You
they
know what's
definitely have
missing.
not told us the
But
truth.
you know what's
That's what
missing
I'm
in the
saying.
argument.
That's what
You know
I'm
what's
saying.
missing
Anyone
in
want
the
to pick a bet?
But you
What
know what's
happened?
missing in the argument? The whites have yet to prove that they were in all the places they said they were.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you said you was in Jerusalem. Where are the artifacts that show you? I don't see no art. Everything they dig that come up out the ground in and around Jerusalem is all of Black people. I'm gonna say something. It's gonna come across as racist, but I'm not. I'm a comedian. I'm not a gangster. I'm a prankster. I tell jokes. Hey, I'm a prankster. Now check this out. The only white people in your Bible were the lepers. Did you catch that? Miriam was turned into a leper in the 12th chapter of Numbers. She was turned white all over. Moses' hand was turned white, and then the Lord turned it back to his original color. I think the 2nd or the 3rd chapter, Exodus. And then the 10 lepers came to Yeshua, or Jesus in the New Testament. What color is a leper? The Bible says a leper is somebody that's white all over. If they white all over, he said they clean. Now, we got some brothers walking through our neighborhoods. They got spots on their faces. That's leprosy. Where the guy's white here, his ears are white, his lips is white, and he got white hands. Excuse me for saying that word again. He got white on his. Why? That's a sign that person is not to be trusted. He's an evil, wicked person, or somebody his lineage was evil. So what the Lord do is, if the Lord get real mad at you, he strike you with leprosy. In the hood, we call it albinism. Albinos. That's leprosy. Y'all understand? So you said, well, where are you going with this? I want y'all to understand. Black makes all colors. You can't get no color from white. So even though they despise me, I produce them.
I'm gonna let you land on that one. You drop balls. I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah, that's the way it is. White people, they pass on what we call a white gene. So you got a person over here that's white, and you got another person over here that's black. As long as that black gene is there, the baby comes out with melanin. We call them mixed children or half-breeds. But if you got two white persons, and they both have the white gene, what do? They pass the white gene to the child, and now they have a white child. We know for a fact we don't care about. I tell people this all the time. We don't care about skin color. That's primitive. That's how people think that are not wise. But leprosy is in the Bible, and where white folks came from is in your Moses' sister. The book says the Lord turned her white all over, white as snow. What color was she before she was turned white? She was black. Because if they had been accustomed to seeing a white person, they wouldn't have freaked out like they did when Miriam turned white. Y'all understand?
It's Miriam turned white. That's
Miriam turned
white
white
as
all
snow,
over,
like
man.
Snow White. You know what I'm saying?
The book says
Comparable
she
to
was
that.
white as snow. They started crying. The book tells you in the
Wow.
original text, Aaron cried. He said, man, we see it. Don't do this to Miriam. But the Lord had did it. And the Lord said, put her outside the camp for 7 days, bring her back in, her color will come back. I'm not making this up, ladies and gentlemen, audience. This is real.
That's very interesting.
So these people were shunned throughout over the last 6,000, I say last 4,000 years. When the Chinese saw the Chinese give us the first recorded eyewitness account of the white barbarians. Why do you think the Chinese built the wall of China? The wall of China was built to keep the white barbarians out of China.
Right.
The Hadrian Wall in Europe,
right,
was built to keep the barbarians out of Britain. All these walls, but the white man don't tell you that in his history book. You know what he tells you? We're gonna build a wall to keep the Mexicans out. When he knows full well that the wall was built originally, can I preach, to keep him out.
Negro questions.
So it might be subliminal deep down inside. He's real resentful of the way he had been treated for 4,000 years.
That part.
So that's all I got. Y'all got a lot out of me today because I had took a nap today.
Uh-oh. I was wondering. I was like, oh, shoot, now this man is knocked out on me or something, man. What's going on with you? No,
man.
You here, though.
All right, man. Hey, it's always a pleasure. I like doing the show with you. And I'm going to tell you, like my Jamaican friends say, me guan go now, man. All right, guys.
Why with yourself, then?
Why with yourself? All right, peace, man.
Frost. That was Frost. That's what you said. It was nice. Frosty off that one right there. You know what I mean? At a party, you get frost, right? That's what they say in the party, right? So, shout out to Lee Cummings, man. Negro Question Series. This is we giving you Blackamoor answers, though. You feel me? So, we go, that's what it is. Negro Questions, the Blackamoor answers. You know what I mean? So the answer is, I think, we got to it. Yeah, Aramaic, let us know what your feedback is. Leave it in the comments, like, share, tell a friend, bring a friend next time. You already know. And tap in with us, next week. Since you heard what he said this week, right? So our man next week, Maroon J, got something, the best kept secret that's going to be tied to kind of what you kind of heard today about some history of some folk that people might be not believing ain't have the power that he might be giving them. And this ain't no point, like you said, this ain't a racist thing. This is historically things that we've dug up to show that people might just be cloned like Tyrone. You know what I mean? We're going to get you out of that. You know what I'm saying? That's all. We want you to get the real thing, as they say it, right? Lord. Till next week, Sunday, tap in with us. We're going to play something. We're going to let this breathe real quick. Blaze. Peace, y'all.
Yeah. Everything is authentic. High beams, risking coming down your block. Painting pictures with these words, call me Basquiat. Everything authentic, we don't fuck with gimmicks. You can't rush the greatness, all you could do is witness. High beams coming down your block. Painting pictures with these words, call me Basquiat. Everything authentic, we don't fuck with gimmicks. You can't rush the greatness, all you can do is witness.
Black drop back, my stacks is on greatness. High level shit off top, you can't make this. Fuck the beat off guard, now that's rapist. Top laid back, the beans, now that's weightless. Gotta excuse me, y'all, I might break this. Ain't a perfect picture, y'all boys gon' need facelifts. Fall back a few, they fiend for thy greatness. Better cut before you take this. Cashmere playing golf with my 9-9. King fall off, they know that I find mine. Fucking with an OG in the fine lines. White in the mirror on the all-time high. Shining since I came out the pussy, I blind guys. Eating with my team, you cannot define eyes. Squares out of circle, boy, I divide pies. Truth so big, cannot deny lies, huh?
High beams, risking coming down your block. Painting pictures with these words, call me Basquiat. Everything authentic, we don't fuck with gimmicks. You can't rush the greatness, all you could do is witness. High beams coming down your block. Painting pictures with these words, call me Basquiat. Everything authentic, yeah. We don't fuck with gimmicks. You can't rush the greatness. All you can do is witness. Overseas singing melodies while I'm loafing. Smoking these 5 trees, you know I'm coughing. Bitch so exotic, that pussy, you know I'm lost in. Asset, allocation, you know I'm bossing. No Marriott, yacht master of my submariner. My workstation survival, no man, I'm still cleaner. Talk like you got an army, but you ain't got no team. I just landed, nigga. Smell like the Gulf Stream. You don't understand this, you better read a book. Look up Rap Genius, you better read my hook. I'm on another level, my shit be hard to reach. I can change religions, but they make it hard to preach. Thought you had friends, but you learned your lesson though. Pat these niggas down before you let them through the door. The game fucked up, I put it in the grapple. Painting pictures, nigga, Sistine Chapel. High beams, Ristine coming down your block. Painting pictures with these words, call me Basquiat. Everything authentic, we don't fuck with gimmicks. You can't rush the greatness, all you could do is witness. High beams coming down your block. Painting pictures with these words, call me Basquiat. Everything authentic, we don't fuck with gimmicks. You can't rush the greatness, all you could do is witness.
Check the humidor, I gotta keep a few or more. I'm from the gutter, man, I took them on a sewer tour. See, when you make it to the top, that's what you do it for. Sunroof visions, can't tell you when I see the floor. Hearing screams as I open the arena doors. Higher level, what they think when they see my decor. I do it big and now they swear that they see me before. Everything is luxury, got your memory sore. I do this shit for real, the bitches love my sex appeal. I'm turning heads and tearing sheets like they were orange peels. Even my chicken boy can fill up storage with her heels. See, I killed the game alone, y'all be adorning deals. Wet bait, foreign cost, that's a boss act. Feeling like I'm hidden by the roof, so I lost that. If you're getting real money, you can toast that. Trying hard up in the building, nigga, you can float that.
High beams, Ristine coming down your block. Painting pictures with these words, call me Basquiat. Everything authentic, we don't fuck with gimmicks. You can't rush the greatness, all you could do is witness. High beams coming down your block. Painting pictures with these words, call me Basquiat.
Yeah, you listen to
Everything
Super Play,
authentic, we don't fuck with gimmicks. You can't rush the greatness, all you could do is witness.
Bang, 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 bang.